Our first tech trend is say goodbye to your office. The virtual becomes real. The future of work and remote technologies is one of the first things that comes to mind following COVID-19 pandemic. This is not surprising when business turned virtual and company like Zoom overshot its forecast by more than 60%. But tools for remote communication are just a part of the virtual revolution that also includes products providing digital solutions. Taxi is a startup that helps engineers manage network troubles remotely, avoiding the need to enter people's homes, keeping both parties safe, and cuts waiting times and costs, while making sure people stay connected. Kemta is helping people get their exercise they need at home. Kemta uses advanced computer vision to create personalized home fitness experience, including training with a virtual AI coach that can actually see them, as if a trainer were right there in the room.
Beyond the PCR drive-through, diagnostic testing becomes real-time. Medical testing has always been a serious endeavor, and it's always been performed in healthcare facilities or licensed labs, usually by appointment. Social distancing measures and the fear of infection are changing this. Diagnostic testing has been freed from the confines of labs and clinics and is beginning to take place in locations that were impossible to imagine: parking lots, open fields, and even drive-thrus. Startups such as Site Diagnostics, a point-of-care complete blood count company, and MeMed, being able to distinguish from a drop of blood bacterial versus viral infections, are perfectly suited for the new world of fast food testing.
Automation leaps ahead to discovery. Robots learn to teach themselves. Just a couple of months ago, during the OurCrowd Global Investor Summit, we predicted that anything that can be automated will be automated. Even we had no idea that the automation trend would accelerate so quickly. This is because in times of crisis, companies must be much more efficient and do more with fewer resources. Companies that can automate more of their back-end processes will become more efficient and more agile. Kaholo is a startup that allows them to do just that. Kaholo is a low-code visual platform for automating IT and DevOps tasks. RPA, robotic process automation, is about to replace the billions of repetitive manual procedures created by enterprises as part of their day-to-day routine. These procedures normally consume a lot of human attention and time. Companies such as Cryon are spearheading this revolution by developing the RPA process that don't require any human intervention.
The doctor will see you now online. During the global lockdown, brick-and-mortar medical clinics were shuttered as well, stranding patients in the middle of a storm without a lifeboat. In the midst of the greatest medical emergency in the last 100 years, most people were cut off from their physicians. Telemedicine, remote connectivity between patients and physicians, has suddenly gone prime time. Using telemedicine, patients can connect with their physicians anytime and from any place. TytoCare has a cachet of tools that allow physicians in their offices to perform physical examinations on patients in their homes, whether they're next door or on the other side of the world. Most importantly, patients can share their data with their physicians using cloud-based solutions. DarioCare, a global leader that is already a leader in remote diabetes monitoring and management, has partnered with my startup, Mediorbis, to provide 24/7 coverage and monitoring to all of their patients.
No borders, no walls. Data collaboration becomes huge. COVID-19 has changed the way the world is doing science. Although countries shut their borders and restricted travel, it seems as though the distance between Tel Aviv, San Francisco, and Shanghai had never been shorter. To solve the global health threat, scientists needed to share knowledge, share samples, share data. A recent good example of this was when Chinese and Australian researchers made COVID-19's genome freely available. Data World is building a platform that will revolutionize the way individuals and organizations are working with data. Its catalog enables data scientists, business analysts, and decision makers to find, understand, access, and use data anywhere it exists. For example, Salesforce-owned Tableau is using Data World's platform to provide global coronavirus data for free.
Microbes beware, innovation will wipe you out. Personal hygiene has long been an important but under-recognized factor in infection control. Now, a person wearing a mask and wiping down their seat at a restaurant is considered safe and responsible, not a germ nut. PPEs, or personal protective equipment, are now readily available, but what's needed to contain the virus are portable and reliable antimicrobe disinfectant materials. Novel compounds are being created for this, such as those used by startup Sanotize, which help individuals disinfect their upper respiratory tracts, nasal passages, and hands. These approaches will play a crucial role in our everyday life for the foreseeable future.
Eating healthy becomes life or death. The COVID-19 pandemic has led to the death of over 400,000 people around the world, most of whom had background diseases. People have begun to realize how important it is to pay attention to the day-to-day health. That starts with eating in an organized and healthy way. Tovala is the first company to regularly deliver easy-to-prepare, high-quality, personalized meal kits that fit different dietary requirements, whether it's vegetarian, gluten-free, or even customizable. Tovala has witnessed 400% growth in the last few months. Another accelerating trend in health food tech sector is plant-based dietary alternatives. Ripple has found a way to employ proprietary clean protein technology to create a great-tasting, nutritional alternatives to dairy.
The antiviral revolution takes center stage. How do you kill something that's not alive? This is the greatest struggle that scientists, clinicians, and pharmaceutical companies have struggled with treating viral infections. Over the same period of time that mankind has developed hundreds of antibiotics, only a handful of successful antiviral drugs for common viral infections have been approved. We at OurCrowd have been assessing and evaluating many different and varied therapeutic options, both for COVID as well as other viral infections, to rid humanity of this nuisance once and for all.
The new reality brings new cyber threats. 2 weeks ago, Gil Shwed, Checkpoint CEO, warned of a second pandemic, what he called cyber pandemic. The world has seen a dramatic global increase in cybersecurity threats during the COVID-19 crisis. When countries are devoting all their resources to fighting a health crisis, such attacks becomes inevitable. Unfortunately, the most vulnerable networks are also the most critical, and it was no surprise when the press reported that Iran attacked Israel's critical infrastructure. IXDEN, the leading provider of IoT security solutions for critical infrastructure, protects against the malicious breaches seeking to cause functional problems. The pandemic has also hit an already strained healthcare sector, which encompasses connected medical devices along with network of patient records. CyberMed is a startup focusing on intelligent detection, prevention, and revision solution for medical devices, such as CTs, for diagnostic imaging, to ensure ongoing, safe, and secure operations.
Designer vaccines are getting ready for the next target. Vaccines are considered one of the greatest medical innovations of all time. But we have seen how they fall short when they're not perfectly tailored to a particular strain of virus. To take on future pandemics, vaccines require flexible platforms. So every vaccine doesn't need to be created from scratch. They need to be accelerated timelines to limit contagion, and they need to be more effective. Without vaccines that have great efficacy and are simple to produce, society will never return to normal. MigVax, one of the leading vaccine startups, is taking an innovative and revolutionary approach to creating a vaccine platform and will be crucial for fighting COVID-19 as well as any future virus that we face.
In this rapidly changing new world, we expect these trends to continue to evolve. We look forward to keeping you updated.